Okay, so had a customer brought in a Toro walk-behind self-propelled lawnmower. Now this lawnmower's already been to a real mechanic, and the real mechanic changed out the exhaust manifold and gave it back to the guy, and it stopped running after the first day. So he called the real mechanic again, and the real mechanic said, well, there was evidence that there was water introduced into the machine and it's probably shot. So I'm not really sure why he's taken it to a fake mechanic, since the real mechanic has already diagnosed it. So, well, actually I do. So first of all, water doesn't ruin an engine. I mean, it can, but typically if you can pull the rope, it's still savable. You just got to get the water out of it. Usually the water doesn't burn. Now if there's water in the cylinder and it sits for a long time, it can make the rings seize onto the piston, or the cylinder walls I should say, and the piston, yeah, both. So, but anyway, he said that he'd give me a shot at this, because you know, what can it hurt to give it another try. So we're gonna see if this fake mechanic can figure out what's wrong with this thing and get it running. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through our 3 steps of diagnostics. The first step, we always check to see if it'll start using starter fluid. If it doesn't start with starting fluid, then we check for spark, and while the spark plug is out, then we check for compression. However, if it starts on starting fluid, we can stop there. So I'm going to put some starting fluid into the carburetor and see what happens. Well, the real mechanic didn't worry about the air filter either. So the fake mechanic has now discovered that the engine is not shot. It did start on starting fluid. So that tells me we have a fuel issue, probably a carburetor issue. Now, I did notice that the gas tank is full of gas. I don't trust it, so what we're going to do is we'll not only start removing the carburetor components, because I'm going to change the carburetor, I'm also going to put some gas in a glass jar to see if there's any water in it. Okay, so now I'm going to take off the fuel line, but I am going to lock the hose so fuel doesn't spurt out until I'm ready for it to come out. So the gasoline actually looks pretty good. I don't see any water. It looks fairly clear. I mean, there's a little bit of yellowish tint to it, which indicates there's, you know, maybe a month's worth of age on it, a couple weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed to take off the carburetor. All right, so we got the carburetor off. So you really gotta like, I do, that your new carburetor, aftermarket carburetor, comes with so many different components. It even comes with this housing. Look at that. New air filter. That new housing comes with a priming bulb, but it also comes with an extra priming bulb. Air filter, you've got the spark plug and your gaskets. Okay, so I'm going to grab this new housing, and oh, they even got a new hose for the crankcase breather. We'll go ahead and put that on too. Oh, look at that. Isn't that something? So this has a gasket on it already, but they also provided another gasket for one of these bags. Okay, so I had to look at the old housing. I thought maybe they sent me the wrong one or something. So this old housing has a hole that you can see through. This one does not, but on closer examination, this comes off. It has little tabs you just squeeze to take it off. So now we can get it on there. Got to remember our breather housing, our breather hose. Okay, I'm going to put on the fuel filter or fuel hose now to the carburetor. I should have done that before I put the housing on, but I got worried that it wasn't going to fit. If I have to, I'll take it off and do it over. Nope, it went on. So now I just got to get the clamp on. It was actually probably easier to do it this way than it was when it was completely opened up. Strange. Okay, so now we'll put the shroud back on. And check the oil. Dirty, but at the full mark. Sorry, I'm out of breath, just push mode. So, ran into a little problem that was not on camera. The original carburetor that I took off did not have a governor spring. So it would start up, run real slow, and then die because it wasn't getting enough gas. So fortunately that package came with a governor spring. I put it on, ran perfect. So I cut that down there and did a great job. It's a little wet. And of course they had the wheels all the way to the ground. You shouldn't do that, so I raised them up. So it's running. So if you can click this up next box to take a video, I was working on something. So if I can inspire you to investigate. It doesn't work the first time. Thanks for watching.